just fairly recently, I had a dream. And in this dream, I was traveling. You see, in most of my dreams, I'm not at home. I'm traveling somewhere. I'm somewhere different, somewhere new. So in this dream, I'm traveling through some town or some city, and I encounter a lake, and this is where the dream becomes exponentially more vivid. You see, I believe that if a dream is extremely vivid, it means a couple of things. For one thing, I think that it means that that dream is specifically important. For another thing, it means you're just more in tune with your dreams. And so, anyway, in this dream, I came across this lake, and I decided to go swimming in the lake. And so, I went swimming in the lake, and I decided to dive down, and I dove down, deeper and deeper, to the darkest depths of the lake. And I came across, when I reached the bottom of the lake, a decent little amount of money. I think I found a $50 bill, and I also found a $20 bill. So $70. Not much money, but I was quite joyous for some reason. Now, I came out of the lake and I went on my merry way, and later I came back to the lake. This time, I was near the shore when I dove down, but it was a steep drop-off. And so I dove down again, deep into the lake, and as I was diving down, I saw that there was some rubbish along the drop-off, because I was diving down right near the cliff, right on the drop-off. And it was just like some old ruins. And as I was diving down deeper and deeper, I suddenly saw a giant snake come out of the depths of this water. And so, feeling that fight or flight response, I decided to fight. And so I punched the snake in the face, and I took my fingers and I stabbed it in the eye. And that's all I really remember of this dream. But when I woke up, I found myself thinking about this dream for quite some time. And so I feel like I have interpreted this dream quite well, in fact. You see, dreams almost always have a meaning. Many people don't pay much attention to their dreams, but perhaps they should. Because dreams are a window into our soul. Dreams are a look into our subconscious minds, which gives us much important information about ourselves. So, what I believe this dream means is that the water symbolizes my consciousness, because, for one thing, I'm often thinking about consciousness and philosophizing about things, and so no doubt I believe that the water would symbolize consciousness. And the money that I initially found, that is the gems of consciousness. The gems of consciousness is the calmness, which derives from a deep meditation practice, or the eternal and amazing realizations which one can have on psychedelics, or the or just the joy of life, the joy of watching a little bird, or the joy of swimming in a river, or the joy of anything in life. That is the gems of consciousness, the joy, the respect, the calmness. But when I went down into those depths the second time, I encountered the snake. And historically, mythologically, the snake symbolizes the knowledge of good and evil in the Bible. And people have often feared snakes in many different cultures for good reason, because in many parts of the world there are a lot of venomous snakes. So they are something which is reasonably feared. But if we look at the snake metaphorically, I would say that the snake represents the shadow of the consciousness, the darkness, the evil, because everything exists within consciousness. And even the most treacherous, the most evil, the most devious, many things that we experience are on this spectrum that human beings experience. And other animals do not experience this like shadow, at least not to nearly the same degree that humans do. So that's, I think, one of the things that makes humans unique. This dark shadow, which we must contend with, which is depression, deceit, anxiety, hopelessness, uncertainty. All of these things which we must contend with, which many people struggle with, exist within consciousness. And yeah, they are there's such a dichotomy with the human being. There's such a schism in the fact that we can experience heaven or hell, or what have you. We can experience a infinite number of experiences, and that's quite amazing. So, yeah, dreams are an amazing portal to look inside your own mind and philosophize, and look at yourself, and question yourself. If you can interpret those dreams, which I think if you are a thinking individual is not too hard. And so, yeah, dreaming is amazing. Just the different worlds that we can go to, the different dimensions that we go to in our dreams, is quite amazing in my opinion. And yeah, if you would like to go deeper and deeper into the dream dimension, I would encourage you to do so. I've done so many a time, and I would like to tell you how you can do that yourself. Now, one of the ways, there's different methods, but one of the ways is by writing a dream journal. Every day, write in your dream journal when you wake up. And it's better to wake up, for remembering your dreams, it's better to wake up naturally, because if there's like an alarm that disturbs you in the middle of a dream, you are much less likely to remember it. So it's better to wake up naturally for the purposes of dream recall. And so, yeah, wake up naturally, and maybe just do research on dreaming and try to fill your mind with think with ideas about dreaming to kind of send your energy to the dream world. And then once you've been doing that for a while, you should, in theory, be able to remember many dreams every night. At least that's my experience. Now, I must tell you that consuming different like drugs or alcohol is quite can be quite detrimental to this. For example, marijuana, when consumed, especially before bed, inhibits dreams, but also it stays in the system for a very long time. So it's still in your system even when you are not actually under the influence of it. So yeah, I think that when somebody is a regular marijuana consumer, their depth of going into the dream world would be mediocre at best. Because what marijuana does is it shuts down the REM sleep, and when you're in the stage of sleep called REM sleep, then you are doing the most amount of dreaming in that stage. And it's also very important for processing information, for learning, and for just getting a restful night's sleep to achieve this REM sleep. And so marijuana inhibits this stage of sleeping, and so it inhibits dreaming, and therefore it also inhibits the processing of information, because we process like so much in our dreams, right? And yeah, you can speak to many different like marijuana users, and I would guarantee you that like a lot of them probably don't remember their dreams all that well. And yeah. And so once you've been doing your dream journal for a while, and you have a good handle on the recall aspect, then what you want to do is you want to start implementing some techniques to well, now I'm actually talking about lucid dreaming. I didn't even mention that, funnily enough. But if you want to go a step further, you can attempt to lucid dream, which is quite interesting. And I believe that lucid dreaming is kind of a good practice for consciousness, because if you can lucid dream, you are conscious even when you are asleep. So it is a good practice for consciousness to me. And I've practiced it before. I'm not practicing it now. It does take a fair amount of your energy to do so. But pretty much what you want to do at this stage is you want to do reality checks. So what that means is you can look in a mirror and you can see if in dreams, typically if you look in a mirror, your image in that mirror will be distorted or blurry. So that's how you will know that you are dreaming, because that will trigger you to say, "Aha, I'm dreaming." And then there's another reality check that you can do where you just try to flick on or off a light switch, and that's a pretty good one, because typically in dreams, for some reason, when you try to turn on or off a light switch, that light switch will not work. And then you will say in your head, you will think to yourself, "Wait a minute, I'm dreaming." And then you'll come to that realization. Another way to do it, which is quite fairly random, is sometimes characters in the dream will tell you that you are dreaming. So yeah, it's fairly random, but the more that you research lucid dreaming and think about lucid dreaming, the more chance of this happening. And then another one which is kind of similar is if you just come to the realization that you are dreaming because you see something which is very fantastical. Like, for example, one time when I had my most memorable lucid dream, I saw this, like, fantasy creature, like a monster. And that's when I realized that I was dreaming. And then once I realized that I was dreaming, I was able to control, like, everything in the dream, and it was a very magical experience. And I would definitely be interested in practicing it again. But, yeah. Yeah, dreaming is so interesting. It's such an interesting look into the mind, and in many different cultures, they have an emphasis on dreaming. For example, like, I believe that the shamans in Peru who do the ayahuasca ceremonies and so on, like, I think that they actually have quite the emphasis on dreaming. However, they in the Western world, we don't really put much value on dreams. Some people do. Spiritual people do. But a lot of people don't think twice about their dreams. And you really need to. For spiritual development. Because it's like a special look within yourself. A special look within your consciousness, within your mind, to learn more about yourself, about your psychology, and about your own consciousness. And that is what I believe that is the root or the essence of self-actualization and self-improvement, is to learn more about yourself. So, yeah. I think I'll end this video here, but yeah, dreaming is amazing, and I look forward to other people looking deeper into it, you know, and I look forward to looking deeper into it myself, because it can bring such amazement when you wake up in the morning and you say, wow, that was an amazing dream, what did that mean, you know? Instead of just waking up and then just getting your morning coffee and then thinking to yourself, huh, I don't remember my dream, you know? It's such an important and interesting tool. So, yeah.